Svaha Tatsavitu Vareniyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat.
Hi, I'm Joy. Welcome to my channel. This is Yoga with Joy. I'm going to take you through Virabhadrasana 1 today. That's Warrior 1. And it's the first of the Warrior series of postures, Warrior 1, 2 and 3. So we start in Tadasana, which is the mountain posture. I teach Tadasana with the feet hip width apart, the outside edge of the feet in line with the mat. And with all standing postures, there's a real foundation in the feet. So we lift up the toes and we settle the toes down very gently, softly onto the mat. So we're never kind of clinging our toes on in postures, in standing postures. We're keeping them relaxed. And if we ever need to, we remember to lift them up and then relax them again. I do that throughout my postures all the time. My standing posture. So there's a lifting through the arches of the feet. You see how my feet could naturally kind of collapse in a little bit? Well, I lift through the arches of the feet here, and it creates a strengthening right up from the arch, right up through the legs, really strengthening the inside of the legs, and that creates a strengthening right around the hips and right up through my posture. So these are the feet are the foundation. So from the root up. So with this posture, you probably won't need any props. It might be that you need a block for your back ankle, but that's actually quite fairly unusual, but we'll see. I'll try that out with you when we get there. So bring your feet nice and wide. So about ankle to wrist. Everyone's a bit different how they do this posture. So it depends how wide you can go, how wide you want to go, but it's really not like super wide. You're just keeping yourself nice and strong, lifting up through your mula bandha, your pelvic floor, all those wonderful muscles around the base, our base area. And then lifting in around your abdominal muscles. So your feet are wide, and then you've turned your feet inwards slightly so the outside edges are in line with the mat. Again, lifting up through the arches of the feet so there's no collapsing in. And then we'll be turning around the right foot. So your right heel is in line with your left arch. Sorry, that's Warrior 2. I'm going to move that slightly. So your right heel is in line with your left heel. So we have heel to heel alignment. Now, if it's new for you, this posture, you can heel toe the foot out, the right foot out a little bit so that you're actually not on the tightrope and you're a little bit wider. So the heels aren't completely in line with each other and you're a little bit wider. But I'll show you how traditionally it's taught. So it's heel to heel alignment. Lifting up your toes and relaxing them down, lifting up through your back foot. So your back foot is actually turned in quite a bit. So it's not 15 degrees like with Warrior 2 or Trikonasana. It's a little bit more than that. So it's more like 45 degrees. You're turning in because you're going to be turning this way. So I'm actually a little bit wide. So I'm stepping myself in a little bit and turning towards the front. So before I bend my front knee, I'm going to make sure that I've turned my hips towards the front. And like I said earlier, if you need to, it might not be something you need to do, but if you need to, and it's not working for you to have your foot flat, you might be putting a block underneath your back foot, your left heel. Okay, so that's something that you can think about. A book works well with that as well. So yeah, looking forward before you bend your knee, having your hands on your hips or waist is fine. Remember lifting up your toes, placing them down gently, lifting up through the back arch, Bend your knee over your ankle. So you'll be able to see your big toe. So your hips are open enough to be able to see your big toe on the inside of your knee. And you're facing frontwards. So your hips are facing forwards. There's no kind of opening like this. They're facing forward and they're rooting down. Opening up the chest. Lifting up your Mula Bandha pelvic floor, lifting all these muscles around here, these wonderful abdominal muscles and back muscles. And then lifting up your arms. Now you may choose to keep your arms parallel, like I have now, so that there's room for your shoulders, room for your head, and you're able to move your head around. And you may choose to keep your head and your eye gaze, your drishti, facing forwards. But if you are ready to and you wish to, you can place your palms together in Anjali Mudra, the prayer mudra, and then having a look up at your hand. So your drishti is now hasta drishti, which is your eye gaze is at your hands. So that's only if you're comfortable with your neck. Taking deep breaths here, really strong. It's a very strong posture. Strong through the legs, strong in the hips. Strong, your back leg is lovely and straight. Really holding the strength there. Remember, you can be here with these arms parallel and looking straight ahead. And bringing the hands together and down to the heart. And we'll just straighten our front leg, hands onto the hips, and then turn around so that you're parallel again. So it's interesting, that's how wide my eye won't need to be for Virabhadrasana 1. So it will be different for everyone. And so turning your left foot the other way. And then remember that it's heel to heel alignment. Your right foot is about 45 degrees in, quite a bit more than Warrior 2 or Trikonasana. And you're turning your hips facing forward. Remember, you could be putting a block under the back heel, or you can use you can actually use the skirting board in your house, something like that, this whole area here. So that relieves the stretch in the back foot, so that you actually will feel like you can balance there. Okay, so heel to heel alignment, facing forwards, straight front leg before you bend the knee, and then hands on the hips. Start to bend the knee. So you remember, you can see your big toe and you're opening up this hip, but you're keeping these, your hips are facing forward, lifting up through your Mula Bandha, your pelvic floor, lifting your toes, softening them down. Lifting up through the back, the arch in the back foot. Strengthening through this band of core muscles here. Bring the hands to the heart. And then bringing your hands up so that they're parallel. The palms are facing each other. And then looking straight ahead. And then if you can and wish to, you're placing the hands together in Anjali Mudra and looking up if it's safe for your neck. Keep your shoulders lovely and soft. Straight arms, deep breaths. Remembering to keep your toes soft. Keep your knee over your ankle. And of course, don't forget, if you needed to, you could have widened your feet so that you don't have to be heel to heel. And of course, you can widen your arms if you want to, remember. And then bring the hands in Anjali Mudra above the head if you haven't already. And then down to the heart. Wonderful. straightening your leg, hands onto your hips, and then turning around, facing forwards. And then you can step or jump in. So either you're stepping like this, in, or you can jump in. And then I bring the feet hip width apart again, because that's how I teach it, hip width rather than together. Wonderful, lovely, strong posture, the warrior postures. Yeah, and thank you for joining me in this tutorial. Namaste. And please, yes, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can leave comments or like this video if you want to come find it again easily. It's wonderful. And we'll see you again soon.
Oh, radiance and pure consciousness, flaming orb of truth and bliss, remove the veil, so